Hi, Namaste, and welcome back to our channel. I am Gowthami. In this video, I am going to share with you a beginner's guide. It means from step 0 to until you reach intermediate level. Okay, so without any delay, let's get into the video. But if you can't watch the video at a stretch, I recommend you to download the video and watch it whenever you find time. Okay, don't be in a hurry to watch the video, just spare time, just download it, put this video into your downloads list and watch whenever you find time. Okay, a step-by-step tutorial or a step-by-step guide through which you can learn English fluently. So I hope this series would be very useful to you. If it is useful to you, it may be useful to other persons also. So please be kind and share the video to as many people as possible. And if you like the video at the last, don't forget to subscribe the channel. We divided this whole step-by-step guide into 8 steps. Okay, these are the 8 steps that you need to follow without fail. Okay, you the step 0. It means that what are the things that you need to get prepared to learn English. Okay, even before getting ready to speak English, you need to make some things work out for you so that after starting to learn English, you would not get disturbed. Point is that even before you want to speak English fluently and even before you want to learn English, you need to set clear-cut goals for yourself. Okay, you need to have a very clear goal like what proficiency you want to reach, by when you want to become fluent in English. You need to set goals. The goals must be very clear and the goals must be achievable. Okay, if you have a clear cut goal, then you will be very motivated to learn English, right? If you don't have any goal, then you find that there is no need to learn English, so you would quit in the middle of this process only. About the second thing you need to do is find your why or find your reasons why you want to learn English. Okay, if you are not going to find your why, then it will be very hard for you to continue and stay motivated throughout this journey, because learning English might be a quite hard task at the beginning stage. Okay, there may be a lot of difficulties that you need to face. There may be a lot of challenges that you need to overcome. You need to have some set of reasons that keeps you motivated and that boosts you up to learn English. The third thing you need to get ready before starting to learn this particular language is that find resources. Okay, you need to have some set of books, or you need to choose some specific English web series to watch or specific podcast to listen, or you can select some specific applications that you need to use to start learning this particular language. Okay, the fourth thing that you need to do before starting to learn a language is that you need to have deadlines and you need to set boundaries to yourself. Okay, it is very important that you need to have deadlines. If you don't have any deadline, then it is like you are writing an exam without having any time period, right? You need to create a deadline like I would reach fluency in 8 months, or I would reach fluency in 1 year. First of all, put a deadline to yourself so that you would have that zeal to work upon your English speaking skills and improving your English speaking skills day by day. The fifth thing that you need to remember before even trying to learn a new language is that you need to create new habits along with the schedule. Okay, you need to prepare a schedule that is very useful to learn English, and you need to create some habits like reading, listening, writing and speaking at least for 5 minutes each and every day. These must be your habits from tomorrow. Okay, only if you are able to create them as your habit, then only you will be able to speak English fluently. Try to create habits using habit bunching or habit stacking method. This will be very useful to you. Day 1. Okay, what are you going to do from the day one is really important. The first step that you are going to do if you want to learn English is that start with super basics. Okay, whatever you learn must be really super basic. What I mean by basic, you need to start with alphabet and pronunciation. Okay, you need to understand that each and every letter in English makes different sounds. You need to listen more and you need to understand that difference, then only you will be able to work upon your pronunciation and you will be able to pronounce the words clearly and correctly. The second thing that you need to learn from day one is that you need to learn some of the basic and common English phrases. You need to know how to greet someone whenever you meet someone for the first time. You need to know how to introduce yourself and you need to know some of the expressions that you can use while you want to speak to someone politely. Okay? If you learn these, then it will be very easy to you to start speaking from the day one itself. The third thing that you need to start learning from the day one itself is words. Okay, try to learn the basic words, the words that we use regularly in English language. Okay, it is really important that you need to learn at least one new word, so that you would have a handful of words to make a beautiful conversation or to speak about a particular topic fluently. Next thing that you need to start learning or be cautious from the day one itself is that you need to speak out. Only if you speak out you will get to know your mistakes. Only if you do the creation activities more, then only you will be able to correct your grammatical mistakes. The next thing that you need to start from the day one is listening practice. Okay, you need to make sure that you are listening at least for 10 minutes at the initial stages. The next thing that you need to do from the day one is reading practice. Okay, try to read whatever that is available with you. You need to start reading from the day one only. Okay, you need to create this habit of reading. Reading not only makes you to learn new words, makes you to speak English fluently, but it will also transforms you into a new human. The next thing that you need to do from the day one is writing practice. If you read more and more books, then it will be very easy to you to do the writing practice. Okay, make sure that you are writing each and every day at least one page. You need to start doing from the day one is that use applications. Okay, you need to use different applications. Okay, you are having so many applications to learn English, so try to use all those applications. There are so many applications which provide the translation process techniques also, so it will be very useful to you. So make a note of them and try to use those applications and try to practice using those applications every day without fail to learn English quickly. And the last and final thing I want you to do from the day one is that being consistent. Okay, consistency is really important. You need to be consistent if you want to achieve fluency. If you are not consistent in putting your efforts, then nothing is going to work out. You need to be consistent in anything. If you are consistent, if you are regular in practicing something, then only you will find results. This way you need to follow all these steps from the day one itself. Okay, in the first step of learning English, I told you that you need to start reading, writing, speaking, and also listening to English. You need to do this each and every day. I highly recommend you to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes to each activity, because reading, speaking, writing, and listening are like 4 pillars of the English language. The thing is that you need to speak English in such a way that you must be able to be understandable to the other person. You need to understand that there are two different types of activities while you are practicing. The first activity is the consumption activity, where you are going to consume each and everything. You are going to consume daily phrases, daily used English phrases, daily used English idioms, daily used English expressions. You may be learning phrasal verbs. You may be learning conversational topics. You may be learning so many basic steps, right? All these comes under consumption activity. And the second activity is called as creation activity. In this activity, you need to make sure that you are creating something or the other. That leads us to second step of learning English. Okay. So the second step of learning English is to apply or to find out new opportunities to speak or to think. Okay. All these days you are just consuming the data, right? So now what you need to do is that you need to produce the data. You need to create the data that you have learned all these days. It may be 5 basic phrases that you have learned that day, or it may be a funny idiom that you have learned, or it may be something related to a polite way of expressing yourself, or it may be using phrasal verbs that you have learned. It may be anything, but make sure that you are trying to use that particular idiom, phrase, or phrasal verb. You need to make sure that you are habituated to think in English. If you are thinking in English automatically without knowing, what happens is that your subconscious mind is going to train you in such a way that you are having a set of words and you will be able to produce that in that particular situation. You need to understand that you need to stop the process of translation after some days. It is quite easy when you are following the process of translation. Try to come out of this process of transition as soon as possible and try to start thinking in English only. The second thing, how you need to do this application process is that you need to start doing the creation activities as much as possible. It may be either writing or speaking. It is really important that you need to understand at which aspect you want to improve yourself. If you want to develop your English writing skills, then you need to make sure that you are focusing a lot on your writing skills. And if you want to make yourself to speak fluently, or if you want to become a speaker, if it is like that, then you need to focus more on speaking. You should not neglect the other thing. Both are equally important. And the third thing is really very important, and the third thing is conversations. Okay. You need to start doing conversations in your step 2 of learning English, because at the later on stages you will be quite comfortable speaking to yourself. If you want to become fluent, and at the same time if you want to be habituated to speaking, then it is really important that you are starting this third step, that is conversations. Okay. Third step to ace fluency in English is grammar. I know what are you thinking about, guys. You are thinking that is it grammar really essential to speak English fluently, right? After you are able to speak out some English phrases, some basic English words, some phrases regarding politeness, some English vocabulary, and if you are able to frame sentences, then it is time for you to work upon your grammar. It may be quite interesting to know that grammar is not too much important to speak a language, neither it is not that it is not at all necessary to speak English. You need to understand that you must have minimum knowledge of grammar if you want to speak English fluently. Okay, you may not have the full depth of knowledge regarding grammar, but you know at least basic minimum grammar rules and grammar structures, so that it would be quite easy for you to frame sentences, good English sentences, and use good English sentences when you are in a conversation and impress the other person. If you are a basic English speaker, I mean, if you want to learn English only to express your thoughts, express your feelings, express your opinions, and just to communicate with other persons in a very natural way, then I may say that learning grammar is not too much important. Okay, I recommend you to learn the tenses part and the articles of English grammar so that you can frame good sentences. It will be enough. Remember that spoken English is quite different from the academic English. So make sure that you are touching the tenses part and articles part in English, and you will be able to speak English fluently. And next, if you are a person who want to give an academic test, either it may be listening or writing or speaking, okay, if you want to give any test like IELTS or TOEFL or any English test, then make sure that you are good. Okay, you must be good in it, because when you are going to attend a test, the paper will be in such a way that they will be expecting some good knowledge regarding English from you. So you need to make sure that you are good at English grammar. Okay, if you want to become a writer, okay, if you want to become a writer who writes stories, novels, and not only that, if you want to, if you are a person or if you are in a field where you want to send, where you need to send a lot of emails, a lot of messages to others, then your written English must be perfect. Okay, make sure that you are not doing any grammatical mistakes. You know very well that while you are in an English learning journey, then it is quite common that you make a lot of mistakes at your initial stages, and while learning also you make mistakes. It's time to know how you need to work upon your mistakes step by step. The first and the foremost thing that you need to do is that recognize your mistake. Yes guys, if you don't know where are you making mistake, then how would you work upon your mistakes? So first of all, make sure that you are able to recognize where you are making mistake. Either you made something wrong regarding grammar, or you have misused some word. Instead of one word you have used another word, or did you pronounce the word incorrectly. Okay, you need to know at which aspect you have made a particular mistake, and you need to note it down. Be true to yourself. Please note down your mistake. The next thing that you need to do is that understand why you made that mistake. Okay, understand the error. If you find out that you have made a grammatical mistake, then make sure that you are understanding why did you make that mistake. Okay, next step you need to do immediately after you understand why did you make that mistake is that you need to seek feedback. Okay, you need to ask someone if you did not understand why did you make that mistake. Okay, don't feel shy to ask for feedback. They will explain you in the way that you can understand. The fourth step that you need to do is that you need to work upon your feedbacks. Okay, you need to reflect on your feedback. You need to make sure that you are putting your conscious efforts to rectify the more effort you put to rectify your mistake, the more it is going to register in your brain, and the next time you are not going to repeat that particular mistake. Okay, the fifth step that you need to do is that this time you need to practice correctly. Either it may be pronunciation, either it may be structure of the sentence, either it may be some grammar rule, or either it may be vocabulary. Make sure that you are practicing correctly. Keep a learning journal. When you recollect the mistake, you will come to know that you used to make that mistake and now you are not making it. It obviously means that you have improved in your English speaking skills. The next step that you can do is that you can use language learning apps. Yes, right now it is a big world of internet, right? You have a number of apps that would correct your pronunciation, correct your grammatical mistakes, what not. Please make use of all those resources, all those learning applications that would be very helpful to you during this learning journey. The eighth step you need to do is that set goals for improvement. I say you a lot of times that you need to set goals, right? So understand why it is so important to set goals. If you don't have any goal, you will not be able to see a clear path on what to work upon. Okay, so make a plan and understand your goals, set preferable goal, focus on them and work upon them. Then you will definitely reduce a lot of mistakes while speaking English. The step that you need to do is that you need to stay positive and stay persistent. Okay, don't think that I am making a lot of mistake. No, English is not at all for me. I can't even speak a single sentence correctly in English. I can't speak English. Don't give up, guys. Please stay positive. You can do it. Okay, when you find that you are making less mistakes, it boosts up your confidence, right? In the same way, when you find that you are making mistakes, it is an indication that you are trying to improve your speaking skill in English. So never be ashamed of your mistakes. Just try to focus on that area and work upon that area. You will definitely get rid of making mistakes. Okay, now we are in the fifth step of learning English. The fifth step of learning English is to organize. Okay, to be well prepared of what you are doing right now. You are now in the fifth step of learning English. It is high time for you to prioritize your tasks and organize your day, so that you are not going to waste any time of yours. First step that you need to do in order to organize each and everything is that set mini goals or set clear cut goals. Okay, you know that you have started this learning journey because you have a particular goal. Okay, either it may be to give an interview, either it may be to become a public speaker, either it may be to master in English in academic exam, or either it may be to write a book, or either it may be just to communicate with others. Whatever the goal it may be, but you have started this learning journey due to some purpose. It is going to add something to your life. So you have understood that English is playing a very keen role and you started this learning journey, right? So in order to meet that big goal, you need to set very clear cut goals to yourself. Okay, I have done a video on how to create mini goals. I will provide the link right here. Okay, I wish you would check out that video as soon as you complete this video. The second thing that will help you to organize everything is that you need to access your current level of English. Now it is time for you to access your level. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2 are the levels which describe in which level you are. Okay, if you access your level, then you will come to know either you are a beginner or you are at intermediate stage or you are in advanced level. If you access your level, it will be easy to you to know what to study and what to leave. The next thing that you need to do in order to organize your study routine is to create a study plan. Okay, you need to understand that if you have a plan ready in your hands, like when you need to study, what you need to study, how much time you need to study, then what happens is that you will not be wasting your time and you will be focusing that particular time on that particular task. In order to do that, you must have a solid plan. So you need to create a study routine that is suitable to you. Make sure that the time that you are giving yourself during that particular study time must be 100%. You need to do active studying. Okay. The fourth thing that keeps you organized is that don't focus on only one particular type of resource. Okay, use diverse resources that are available to you. For example, don't only focus or don't only use one type of resource. Sometimes you may be bored, sometimes you may not be feeling to continue that. Then you need to just change the type of the resource. The next thing that you need to concentrate is that focus on all the 4 skills. Okay, don't neglect any of the skill. Reading, writing, speaking and listening are like the 4 pillars of a building, right? So focus on all the 4 skills and you need to understand that you need to keep an eye on your grammar, pronunciation, and at the same time your communication skills. Okay, you should not neglect on these three parts at all. The next important thing that you need to focus on in order to be organized is that tracking your progress. Yes, only if you track your progress, you will come to know whether you are improving in this particular language or not. If you are not tracking your progress, then you will not find any results because you don't know at which path you are going, right? So you need to understand that you are tracking your progress. You need to track yourself, then it will be easy to you to be organized. Okay, only if you know all these, then only you will be organized. The next thing that you need to remember is that practice. Okay, please don't forget to practice. Each and every day you need to practice. I am telling it from my own experience. If you don't practice or if you neglect to practice, then it will be hard to you to find results. Consistency is the key. You need to practice with consistency. Then only you will be able to speak fluent English. Next step of learning English, that is assessing your English level till date. If you have not checked out or missed out any of the videos, please go back and do that particular exercise. Watch that particular video for sure. Okay, so before getting into the video, please click that like button. In this video, I am going to show you one wonderful app that would help you to assess yourself, that help you to assess your English language. Okay, I know that you are familiar with it, but let me show you a demo also on how you can do it. The name of the application is ChatGPT. Let me show you one of the feature that helps you to improve your English speaking skills. Now I am going to give you a demo on how to improve your English speaking skills using ChatGPT, and let's find out at which level I am. Promise me that after watching this video, you are going to assess your English in the same way and you are going to tell me in the comment section. Okay, without any delay, let's start. Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. What's new?
I wanted to know the level of my English. Is it possible?
Absolutely. I can try to help you assess your English level. We can do a quick conversation, or I can ask you a few questions to gauge your proficiency. What do you think?
Thank you so much. Ask me a few questions and help me to assess my English level.
Great. Let's start with a few questions. Start with the first question. What's your daily routine like?
I wake up at 6 a.m. I have a 1.5-year child whom I needs to take care of. After I do all my daily chores, I make her to sleep and then I go to work. After I return from work, I do one video per day.
Sounds like you have a busy day. And I'm here to help you with that. We can have conversations, discuss various topics, and work on your speaking skills together. Let's continue chatting, and feel free to ask any questions or discuss any topics you're interested in.
Thank you so much for your help. And I want to wind it up. Can I know at which I am at least now?
Of course. Based on our conversation, your English seems to be at an intermediate level. You're able to express yourself clearly and discuss a variety of topics with ease. You also demonstrate a good understanding of grammar and vocabulary. Keep practicing speaking and engaging in conversations, and you'll continue to improve.
So, let me tell you that I have done a conversation of 8 minutes and 31 seconds. To speak English clearly and express your views, this is a live proof that if you achieve your intermediate level, it is quite enough. Now we are in the step 7. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. The 7th step of step-by-step guide to ace fluency is to go deeper in English learning journey. It means in this step, you need to dive into different topics of English. Okay, so how you can do this exercise, let me tell you now. The first thing that you need to do is that you need to now challenge yourself to know more and more about diverse things, okay, about diverse topics. You should not confine yourself only to some topics. You need to read extensively. You need to read very widely. The second thing that you need to do is to listen actively. Okay, you need to do active listening. As you are in the seventh step, you need to make sure that you are able to understand each and every word, each and every sentence, and you must be able to frame at least 2 or 3 sentences using a new word at this stage. The third thing that you need to do is that you need to speak regularly. Okay, now there are no full stops. As I have told you, there are 8 steps, right? Now we are in the 7th step, or like we are in the semi-finals. So you need to make sure that you are giving a lot of time to speak. Speak as much as you can and spend a lot of time engaging in conversations either with the native speakers, or if you have joined in any community, try to speak more with other people. The next thing that you can do to deeper your knowledge is to write, to practice writing more. Okay, at whatever platform you are writing, at whatever app you are using, like Instagram, either you may be using messages or either you may be sending an email to someone. Try to write more, try to write in English, and not only that, start journaling. That would be very useful to you. The fifth thing is that learn more idioms, phrasal verbs, and phrases. You need to learn phrasal verbs and all the meanings of that particular phrasal verb. And you need to understand the different situations in which you can use that particular phrasal verb. So, from today, from now on, once you have reached the step 7, make sure that you are specifying some time to learn phrases, phrasal verbs, and idiomatic expressions. The more you learn, the more free you will be able to use this language. You will become so accessible. You can use different types of expressions and you can impress anyone. The sixth step that you can do is to challenge yourself. Right now I am in this stage and I am doing this one. Challenge yourself. You need to challenge yourself to read more complex books, to watch movies without subtitles, and not only that, you must explore more and speak to more people on different topics, wide variety of topics, so that you would challenge yourself and eventually you are going to come out of your comfort zone and you can reach the advanced level. The next thing that you need to keep in your mind is that once you complete step 6 and once you reach step 7, then you will understand that you are improving in your English and you will gain some confidence to speak this language. Okay, you will feel that aura. So after this, you should not become low and you should not stop being consistent. Okay, so my point is that you need to be consistent even when you have reached this level. Even if you are in your intermediate level, you need to keep in mind that you need to stay consistent. Consistency is the key. If you are not consistent, then you will face a lot of problem and you may be end up being in intermediate level only. The last and final step, that is the 8th step to learn English, is to teach someone. Once you have attained 7th stage, or once you have reached the 7th step of learning English, you need to understand that now you are capable of speaking English and you will be able to write, you will be able to teach English also. But before getting into teaching, you need to make sure that you find a perfect place for yourself. First of all, you need to make sure that you have completed all the 7 steps, then only you need to enter into the 8 steps. Why I recommend teaching is that while teaching you have a lot of advantages. In this video, I am going to tell you some of the advantages and how it is going to improve your English speaking skills. So the first thing that you are going to do when you teach someone is you practice regularly. If you want to teach someone, you need to make sure that you are perfect in that language. If you are not perfect, at least you must be able to be understandable to the other person, right? So if you want to be understandable to the other person, if you want to convey your ideas, your thoughts in a correct way, then you make sure that you practice regularly. The second thing that you will gain by teaching to someone is you will gain confidence to express your views, your ideas, and thoughts. All these days, you may be practicing alone, or you may have joined in any online classes, or you may have enrolled in any applications that would be useful to you to improve your English skills, right? Even if you do all these, you would have some fear inside you, and you may be less confident also. By teaching to someone, you will gain confidence. The third thing is that you will be able to reduce your mistakes that you are making all these days. Yes, when you teach someone, some focus only on mistakes, even on online platforms also. When everything is smooth, everything is correct, no one is going to at least see. But if there is any minute mistake also, some people point out that, right? You need to take that into your advantage, and you need to understand where you are making mistakes. Making mistakes is not a very big blunder. Please keep that in mind. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just start your teaching process once you have completed all the 7 steps of the learning journey. The fourth thing is that there are chances that if you share something that you have learned all these days to someone else, then there are chances that you will remember it for a very long time. Yes. According to science also, if you teach someone that you have learned, then there are very less chances to forget. So try to teach to someone. The fifth thing is that you will become disciplined. Yes, maintaining discipline is very important during your learning journey. If you are not disciplined and if you are not punctual in this journey, what happens is that for some days you will be very enthusiastic and you will be learning each and every minute thing in English. After some days, you will get demotivated, or you will think that it is enough, that I have learned enough of English, and you will stop. You will quit the process. When you take a lot of gaps in between your learning journey, and if you are not disciplined, then you will not be able to see progress, see results in your English speaking skills. If you want to speak English fluently, you need to understand that you need to be disciplined and you need to be very punctual in your practicing. The next reason why I recommend you to teach someone is because it is a very fun and an interactive way. As once you teach someone, if they are in a level below you, then it is quite obvious that you are going to have fun while learning this language, because the mistakes that they make, and if you correct them, you will gain some confidence and it will be really fun. And if you are teaching to someone who are in your stage, then it is going to become a very fruitful interactive process. They are going to share their opinions, they are going to teach you in return, and they are going to learn from you, right? So teaching has a lot of advantages, but you need to make sure that you are teaching particular concepts that you know. The next advantage of teaching is that you will be able to reach your goal ASAP. Yes, you will be able to reach your goal as soon as possible, because without knowing, you are moving forward and you are climbing many steps without knowing. During teaching, you will be able to understand either you are able to speak English fluently, either you have improved in this particular language or not. So it will help you to maintain your balance, and it will help you to reach your goal as soon as possible. The next advantage is that you will find a lot of members who are sailing the same ship with you. Yes, there are a lot of people who are trying hard to learn English, but even then they are not able to achieve fluency. So you will come to know new friends who are not able to learn English, who are at your stage, who have become successful by learning English. You will be able to create a new online community or online friends whom you can share your opinion, share your thoughts regarding learning English, and you can take that into your advantage to reach your goal of speaking English fluently. The next thing that you will be able to gain if you teach someone is you will be consistent. That is what happens when you teach someone. Even if you don't want to be consistent and even if you are tied up with so many works, you will definitely make sure that you are working upon your English skills when you teach someone, because you have a responsibility to teach the correct content to others, right? So you will definitely be consistent. And other thing is that whenever you are demotivated, there are a lot of people who will be encouraging you and who will be motivating you. The more you teach someone, the more you are going to step forward in this learning journey. Okay, so this is the last and final step I would recommend you to follow, but make sure that you are completing all the 7 steps at least with 95% accuracy, and then only you are stepping ahead to the 8th step. I mean that when you access your level, you must be at least in your intermediate level, so that you will have that confidence to teach. Thank you so much for joining me till the end, and if you like this video, please click that like button and share it to your friends and family members.